Good morning guys and welcome back to Thai Talk with Dan, where we talk about everything Thailand. Now this week guys, it's been a very interesting week due to Chris from the UK, who normally holidays in Pattaya, Thailand for many years, doing what single men normally do in Pattaya, and he decided that he'd had enough and he came over to visit Isan in Thailand. So guys, I've been documenting Chris's journey on his dating game over here in Isan and what's been going on, and I've been telling you all about it. And yesterday I decided to close the book on Chris because he didn't seem to be listening to the advice that I had given him, and he seemed to have been getting himself into a lot of dating disasters. However, a lot of you guys seem to be very interested in Chris's story, so I'm going to give you the final ending about Chris. This is going to be a short video guys, I'm not going to go on for too long, but Chris is now in Buriram, currently on his way to the bus station to get a bus to Pattaya. So guys, let's roll the intro and let's get on with this video. Okay guys, welcome back to Thai Talk with Dan. We've changed the name, we put it to a vote, and you guys went with this name as it's more fitting to the content that I provide. So firstly, thank you very much for every single person that decided to vote and help me out with the channel name. Cheers guys. Okay, so let's get down to Chris. Chris has decided guys, to leave Isan. It's not the best time for him to be here and date Thai women, so he's decided to enjoy the 20 days or whatever he's got left and go back to Pattaya on a bus and go and enjoy himself until he has to go back to the real world, back in the UK, and get back to the grind, going back to work, etc., to his normal life. Now guys, Chris told me about his final date that happened yesterday, and his date went on for around about 4 or 5 hours. And when he initially told me about this, I thought, wow, looks like Chris has found somebody that he really gets along with, and it seems to have gone great, because spending 4 to 5 hours with a woman in the daytime, it must have been good. So let me tell you about Chris's final date in Isan before he departs here and goes back to Pattaya. So guys, Chris met up with another date from Tinder, and he met up with her. They went to a coffee shop, had a chat, and she said, would you like to go for some food, Chris? Chris said, oh yeah, I'd love to. So she asked what kind of food that he likes. He replies, I can eat Thai food, I can eat spicy, so up to you. I will let you decide on where to go. So the Thai woman decided to take him to the most expensive buffet that Surin had to offer, because he was currently in the city of Surin. So guys, they proceeded to an all-you-can-eat buffet with seafood, salmon galore, where you can eat until your heart is content. So that's why the date went on for several hours, because the Thai woman and Chris were inside the buffet place eating food. They don't sell alcohol in there guys, it's just literally a buffet to eat yummy seafood. So guys, they had this date and they got chatting, and the woman said, I'd like to see you again tomorrow if that's okay with you, Chris. Chris says, yes, that's fine, let's meet up again tomorrow. She goes, I'd like you to meet my 9-year-old son. So I'd like to bring him along tomorrow for a date, and we can go out and we can have a meal again. Chris says, yes, no problem. Let's go out and I'll meet your son and we'll go out and we'll have dinner again and enjoy. Now, guys, I know what you lot are thinking. He's just met this woman. It's the first date. Yeah, she's took him to an expensive all-you-can-eat buffet. It cost £30, according to Chris, for this all-you-can-eat buffet with no alcohol whatsoever. So, for Isan, guys, that's quite expensive. So she took him to the best of the best. She then obviously arranged to feed her son as well. She wasn't a selfish woman. She decided that tomorrow I'm going to have a date with you, Chris. You seem like a nice guy, a very generous guy. So I'll bring my son along and we'll probably go to this buffet again because it's so awesome. I don't normally come here, but it's really, really good with this really, really yummy, expensive food. And I might as well bring my son along for the ride also. So, guys, I spoke to Chris and I explained to him what he didn't seem to understand. Yes, it's very strange, Chris, that a woman is introducing her son after only knowing you for 4 or 5 hours and setting up a date for you to put your hand back in your pocket and take them both for a meal. He didn't go back home with this woman. Yeah, I don't even think he kissed her or anything like that, guys. It was just a normal date where they had some food and she arranged for her son to come along the next day so she could share that food with her son and have another normal date where when it finished, she would go back home and say bye-bye to Chris. So I explained to Chris, it doesn't seem like you're doing very well with the dating game here in Isan. And if you're going to continue dating this way, it's going to cost you more money than it would in Pattaya. And you're not really getting anything out of it. Yes, you're being nice to these women that you're meeting, but you're not getting much in return, Chris. So Chris had a think whether he should go to Udon Thani or go over to Konkan and continue to date, or whether he should go back to Pattaya. So I just basically said, it's entirely up to you, Chris, but if you continue to date the way that you're doing at the moment, it's just going to be a very costly effort on your part. It's going to cost you money. You're not going to get much satisfaction out of it. And you're not really going to get anywhere, Chris, in all honesty, unless you change the way that you're dating these women. I.e., basically, just go for a coffee. A coffee costs 45 baht at Cafe Amazon. So if he buys himself a coffee and buys her a coffee, that will cost 90 baht. There's no stuffing of faces. There's just simply one-on-one communication where you can get to know that woman better and she can get to know you better. And if you have a great time, you can organise another date to make it more fun and more interesting for both of you. But within an hour, sat down, speaking to someone, you're going to get a good idea whether that woman likes you for you and whether you like her also. So if it's worth progressing, not going out spending £30, 1,500 baht or whatever, going on a date with a Thai woman and not really getting anything back in return and not sure whether you like her or not. It's just a total waste of time. And Chris seems to be only having like one date a day. In all honesty, guys, over here, you could set yourself up for at least 4 or 5 dates. If you work hard on the dating applications, you can easily get 4 or 5 dates going. And if you just met 4 or 5 different women and you spent like 30 minutes to an hour with each woman, you'll get a good feel on whether it's worth progressing with that woman or not. And if it's not, you've got another date happening an hour later on, for example, guys. But Chris didn't seem to go down that route. Anyway, guys, I spoke to him last night and he basically said that he's thinking about going to Pattaya. He doesn't think that he can change that much. He's not due to retire for three and a half years. So everything kind of dawned on him that, yeah, I don't think it's going to get any better. So I said, sleep on it, Chris. Let me know in the morning. And in the morning, if you decide that you want to go back to Pattaya, I will help you sort of bus out, etc. and get you on that bus and get you back to Pattaya. And you can enjoy the rest of your holiday. So guys, to cut a long story short, Chris is currently on his way to Buriram with his suitcase and his bags, and he's on his way to the bus station so he can get a bus and get on his merry way back to Pattaya. Unfortunately, the Nakhon Chai bus company don't have any buses. They're all full for today, so he needs to find a different company by going to the bus station and speaking to them and sorting it out. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll hear from him soon. But yet, Chris is 100% leaving and going back to Pattaya. And I think most of you will agree he's probably best off going there, because he's not had the greatest of success over here. And the way that he's dating women and the way that he thinks and the way that he's carrying on, it's only going to cost him a lot of money, and he's not really going to get anywhere, guys. So I think the best place that'll suit Chris would be a place like Pattaya, or maybe somewhere else similar, guys, that's not as crazy as Pattaya. But up to him. Let Chris enjoy the rest of his holiday. At least he tried, guys, but I have explained that he needs to... It's not a woman that's going to fix someone like Chris. Chris needs to take time out and deal with his own personal issues, his confidence issues, etc., and deal with them and fix himself before he even attempts to try and get into a proper relationship. So, best of luck to Chris, guys.